Virtual? I think so.
Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Are you ready to let go of 2023? I know we are. Oh my gosh. So much has happened this year, as we all know, and I know that there are things that have been really wonderful for most of us, and then there have been some times where not so wonderful. So what we look at is the year kind of goes like this, but at the same time, we know that that divine spirit is right here, right now with us. And so this morning, I'm very privileged to what we call beginnings and endings. And so what we realize is that life is like a circle. It's never ending, it's eternal. Life is eternal. Our souls are eternal. So we keep going and we go, and then things spin off and things come back in. When things are left whole, it's always filled. And so this morning, we are asking you to have an experience with us here. And you will be directed as we go through by practitioner Maria and myself. And this morning's ceremony will be given an opportunity to open to a greater vision. I know all of you have one for 2024. I know I do. And we're going to expand our potential to experience the goodness in all things. And then we will, through meditation and through prayer, we will awaken these reflections and these thoughts, and we will bring them forward, and we will tell ourselves a new story. So each of us is going to be given that opportunity to start all over again. And we're going to allow ourselves, as we breathe, we relax, to allow this experience to guide us and to expand and open our hearts and what we will understand as what is coming through. Because we know that God is right where we are, in through all things. And so we know that as we prepare ourselves for this beautiful new year of 2024, we are aware that the infinite seed is being planted. And so within each of us, there is a potential of unlimited possibilities. We are possibilitarians, just so you know. So we have that ability to whatever we think we can do. And I understand some of you will say, well, no, there are some things. I am one of those people that says there's always a way. And I find that way. And I know that all of you are doing that as well. And so this morning, to open our service, and I like to say, we open this vessel of prayer. I'd like to invite Robbie Jean as our practitioner this morning to do our opening.
Please join me now in a moment of silence. And I invite you to join me as I step ever deeper into this sacred time and this sacred space, knowing that we are all one, all whole, all complete, and knowing that this wonderful, wonderful, glorious day is just but an example of the inner beauty that each and every one of us carries. that we have within our hearts this joy, this sunshine, this light that creates that wholeness for each and every one of us. We are branches of a tree. We are the blossoms of the flowers, the seeds. And I am knowing that as I stand here this day, that each person's heart is touched and opened as they receive the message of the day from Reverend Rhonda. And each receives exactly what they need, opening their hearts, their minds, their souls, opening and accepting the oneness that we are, the total, complete wholeness of all that is and all that will ever be. And I'm so grateful, so very grateful for this opportunity to be of service, to be a part of this community as we grow and we prosper together. And this growth, this prosperous expansion that we each receive as individuals spreads throughout our town, throughout our cities, throughout our state. It travels and travels until it has engulfed this entire world, bringing forth that peace and that wholeness of each individual as that part of the creative process. And with a heart full of gratitude, I just say, thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you. Thank you for the multitude of blessings, for the opportunity to learn the truth and to grow in that truth, to stand forth in our beliefs boldly, not hiding our lights under a bushel, but boldly we step forward. And so I just release these wonderful words of truth, knowing that all is well, all is perfect, and all is in divine order. And so it is. Okay, now for the eyeballs. And I will read the spiritual thought once, and then ask you to join me as we read it together. Let each resolve to be true to themselves, true to their inner light, true to the truth. Are we ready? Let each resolve to be true to themselves, true to their inner light, true to the truth. And so it is. And I'd like to invite Reverend Rhonda back up.
And so this morning's affirmation, if you'll say this with me. I am made in the image of the divine, and I recognize this goodness in others, and so it is. Let's do that again. I am made in the image of the divine, and I recognize this goodness in others, and so it is. It is. Amen. So, we enter the endings and the beginnings. So let's just allow ourselves to get comfortable within our chairs. Just allow ourselves to just breathe. No one's asking you to do anything, it just be. And so today, as best as we are able, and as honestly as we are able, we release aspects of our own history and old stories. These we are done with. These we simply dismiss and know that they are no longer needed. We each feel complete about what has happened, and we bless that for what has been. And we imagine and claim an up-leveling in our lives. While we are not working with the physical fire elements today, we work instead with the divine fire that lives in each one of our hearts, and it burns within our souls. Rumi said, once we were particles of light, now we are beings of light, radiating love. And so there has been more than a few elements of our individual and collective experience for this past year. We would rather not repeat. I know I have. Quite a few. But I know that those experiences that I do not wish to repeat, I know that I have gathered so much information from. And again, I bless those experiences, as I know you do too. Today's rituals help us acknowledge and release those fears, negative thoughts, bad habits, grudges, destructive relationships, or any other dead weight anchors to the past. We can use this opportunity to clear the air for ourselves, purging negativity and accumulated negative feelings, emotions, and issues to the best of our ability. By allowing these old stories to be released, we make space within ourselves to become a new creation. And you have felt and expressed so much this year, but still the best is yet to come. And I know it to be so.
I don't want to mess my notes up with yours. Good morning. So folks on Zoom, get your paper and your pencils. Can you hear them scurrying about? Okay, so in this little package, does everybody have a clipboard? In the envelope, you should have a little red piece of paper, which is called our wish paper or our release paper. There is also a beautiful piece of parchment, which you will write your document on, and you will do that with pen because it is permanent. You also have a pencil. Well, most of you have a pencil. You may have to share with your neighbor. So the pencil is for the release, and we use the pencil because it's not permanent, as your limitations are never permanent. And the envelope will be used to put your wishes, hopes to this document in pen. You'll put it in the envelope, and you'll put your address on it if you'd like, or you can take it with you. You'll lick it closed, and then you're going to save it until the end of next year. And we will mail them to you if you'd want. Don't put them in the red bowl. Put them in the donations basket. Okay. So now that you know what's in the envelope, we are going to start our process of releasing. And write softly on your tissue paper in the pencil, because it may tear. Okay. Let's take a nice deep breath. Take some deep breaths, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And breathe into that inner sanctuary. Breathe into your truth, into your wholeness. Feel the power, strength, love, and light of the infinite, divine spirit. Use the name you use. Feel its love, that warm glow, that warm fire deep within. Feel it moving in and through you. With each breath, with each beating of your heart. Today, you will release any old ideas and limitations of the past that you are willing to let go of, that no longer serve your highest good. Say thank you to these old ideas and tell them that your journey into the new year does not include them. No limitation, no holding back. Breathe in, and as you exhale, say goodbye. Do this a few times. All things are done through us when we intentionally give the Spirit and the law the opportunity to work with us. We open the way for deeper work to occur in us and for us. Opening ourselves to the fullness of Spirit, to the fullness of love, we create the space in which it works. I invite you to consider what you would like to do and are ready to do, ready to release as well. In thinking about what you're ready to release, what do you think you need to do differently to release this thing? Open your mind and your awareness. Feel the truer calling of your heart. Give yourself a clean slate. Through releasing the old, a new freedom and a new possibility are yours. So take a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, use that red wish paper to put something down that you'd like to release.
How are you all feeling? Is that peace? Excited? Peace? Good. Good. So our next portion is crossing a threshold. Thresholds are very important because what that means is once we walk over to the other side, we let go of whatever's back here. We don't look back. We can only look forward. And that is our future. And I know that most of us have those question marks. I know that every year I look at things and say, I wonder what's going to happen next year. And often I think, well, should I really ask that question? But it's amazing how we go through the year and what happens and what we are supposed to experience. And so now, as we cross those thresholds into our future, sometimes we like our situations or circumstances to remain the same. And they really can't. And sometimes we can't wait for situations to change. And we move into our future and we realize we brought ourselves along. And what that means is that sometimes we've packed our bags to prepare for the newness. Don't do that. Let it go. Buy a new set of luggage. But just let it go. Allow things to be. Be at peace. If there are things that weren't completed, maybe they weren't meant to be completed. They're just supposed to be as they are. And so I have this really nice letter that Ernest Holmes, our founder of Science of Mind, wrote. And he said, "A new year and a new you. As we approach the new year, there is no need to let ourselves be bound by our old thought patterns, the resistance and the inertia of negative habits. Some may say, if you weren't very happy last year, how can you expect to be happy this year? Why can't you change this situation? I covet for all of us in the new year that we shall no longer be just theoretical, just filled with hope, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing, but that some dynamic proof shall come to each one of us, that each shall know, and there has to be a way, a technique to approach and use that power greater than we are. It is so simple that very few people will believe it. It is the meaning back of our words, the feeling, the acceptance that give the words the only power they have. Prayer should be so simple. Treatment should include only the use of such words as have a meaning to us, and we should feel their full significance. We must come to know that this very peculiar and elusive thing we call our mind is not our mind at all, but the one mind operating through us. I believe there is only one spirit, and we live by it. There is only one law, and it operates through us. We must come to realize there is such a thing as spiritual energy, spiritual mind power, that each in the sanctuary of his or her own heart and soul may silently register the aspiration of their heart, and if they can induce in their minds to accept it, so shall the universe honor us. For everyone that asks receives, and they that seek find, and to them that knock it shall be opened. It is impossible for it to fail. We may thus embark on the greatest adventure of the ages without arrogance, without fear, and I trust with the minimum of disbelief. And you and I, in embarking upon this great adventure, can we, by what we do in the silent sanctuary of our own contemplation, meditation, and prayer, see something happen in our world of experience as a result of which had not happened before, and prove that these signs shall and must follow them that believe? Or do we put the whole thing in reverse and in our pessimistic utterances repeat the old formula, old fears and failures and doubt and uncertainty? Or do we remain in neutral while nothing happens? This is for us to decide. The old year passes into the new and heralds in the possibility of triumph, the triumph of the Spirit in us. But it cannot be done by the dictate of some external authority. It can only occur in our own consciousness. Then faith shall triumph over fear, and love over hate, and compassion over unkindness. Then, at last, we shall sing unto God, be the glory. And so it is. And so Heraclitus is reported to have said, no one ever steps in the same river twice. For it's not the same river, and they are not the same human. And so it is now that Maria will help us cross that threshold.
All right, later on, after the meditation, you'll use your blue document parchment paper to write in pen what you hold for 2024. So once again, let's take some deep breaths. Closing your eyes if you're comfortable. Breathe into the silent place within. Feel your divine nature. Love, power, light. Feel your wholeness. As you take these breaths, feel a space open up and expand for your claiming of your good and more good for 2024. Take a moment, reflect on what's happening inside your mind, but more importantly, in your heart. Listen. What's been saying? What's being said? Feel yourself stepping into 2024. Claim your desires, your intentions. Claiming your new self for 2024. Write them down. And once you write them down, put them in the envelope. And if you'd like for us to mail them back to you at the end of the year, put your address in.
The gratitude today is endings and beginnings, because it's not limited to today. It is not limited to any particular point in time. It is a gift we have every day, every moment we choose to be present and to be aware. We can move on, move up, move forward. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for supporting the center. And now if you would join me in our consciousness giving. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is.
Welcome to your future. We are all blessed this morning, and thank you for contributing and being here this morning in this beautiful space with each and every one of us. And so I invite us all to stand and join hands if you feel so to do so. Okay. Aw, pause up. Say pause up there. Okay. All right. In recognition of the abundance in the universe and the gifts given and received through this morning's ritual, I know and accept, I give and receive freely and joyously, longingly aware of the universe as the source of all my good. I let it go. I let it be, knowing that we are all blessed right here and out there. We let it go, and so it is, and we let it be.